Hi, my name is Sammy Moeller. I was actually born and raised here in St. Cloud, Minnesota. So right after high school, I actually went to the University of Minnesota Twin Cities for a year, which I'm really thankful for because I think that that helped me gain some more experiences outside of my hometown. But I eventually did decide to come back to St. Cloud just because I thought that St. Cloud State would be a better fit for me pursuing a degree in education. So I want to be a high school English teacher. I'm really passionate about teaching and English. So I honestly, I feel very blessed for the education that I had in that I loved school and I loved the community I found and just I felt very valued in school and that my opinions mattered and things like that. But I know that not every kid has that and that a lot of students really struggle through school or they don't see the importance of why they're there or they don't feel valued there or respected. And then you also you never really know the hand that each kid is dealt. And I just want to be an adult in these students' lives that they just know that really cares about them and wants to support them and how in their educational journeys and the things that they want to pursue and that they're passionate about, and just know that their opinions are valid and that that what they believe is important too, and that there's just people there that are going to be willing to care for them well and listen to them and value their perspectives and all of the thoughts and the ideas that they're developing too. And then I picked English because I just think that there's so many things within that that are important for just lifelong skills of reading and writing and discussion and just being able to formulate your own opinions and being able to share those with other people and be able to hear other people's perspectives and have healthy conversations about things and develop your character through that as well. And lifelong skills that you're going to need for working and just living in general. So that's kind of like my goals, I guess, in life and in my career. And then I also just have a love for learning, and I think that's a big reason and why I chose to take this class is that if I'm being really honest, I just feel like I have been fairly sheltered in a community where the LGBT community isn't really necessarily talked about, or it's kind of an area that's shied away from a lot. So I personally I am Christian and I surround myself with a lot of people who are also in a Christian community. And I think that honestly, I think this specific community does shy away from a lot of issues and a lot of things that are important to talk about. And I think one of them is the LGBT community. And I think that I need to broaden my own horizons and just learning more about different communities and different cultures and things like that, because I don't think that's something that I'm super exposed to. But I want to be more informed and I want to be able to see other people's perspectives and hear things and learn. So that's a big piece of why I'm taking the class. And I honestly, if I'm being very honest, I'm a little nervous in that I am going to be kind of naive in this class, and I'm scared I'm going to somehow say something that is going to be somehow offensive or just going to come out because I'm not super well versed in everything, and I really apologize if that does happen, and that's not my intention at all. I just want to learn, and I want to be sensitive, and I want to be caring, and I want to like I said, I just want to see different perspectives and learn. So I plan on being very engaged and being very willing to just be open-minded and hear a lot of new things and learn and be able to also just ask questions and just hear different people's perspectives. And then going into just the first few videos that we heard, I just think it's very interesting because I'd heard some of these things before and some of these ideas about intersectionality and that gender is a construct of society that society has created. And I just think it's so interesting because like this isn't necessarily something that like I think I hear a whole lot about just like naturally without pursuing it in my own life of like the communities that I'm in and like the things that I naturally just communities and things that I'm naturally just involved in. But a few things I thought were really interesting were just like how it's so easy for society to oversimplify or kind of create these generalizations of what a certain community experiences or what a community, like the life that they're living or who they are based on one aspect of their identity. But I thought it was really important to remember this idea of like the intersectionality of how there's so many different pieces of like who each person is that affects how they're treated or the discriminations they face or just every experience. Like no two people's experiences are exactly the same, and there's no like universal women's experience or anything like that. So I just think it's going to be really important for me to just be having an open mind and just be kind of like taking a lot of this in. And honestly, I'm probably going to have to hear some of these things more than once because a lot of these things are new to me. But I'm really excited. And I'm excited just to be able to, learn more about a lot of these topics that a lot of people are very passionate about, and being able to care really, really well for people. And that's really ultimately what I want to do. So thank you.